Hey guys, it's Jaleesa. I wanted to share with you my natural foundation tips and tricks for getting the most beautiful, natural looking, skin like foundation. And this one is sponsored by Clinique. So thank you, Clinique. Let's jump into it. So I'm starting off with my favorite primer, and I think priming is absolutely essential because it's going to smooth in any lines, any wrinkles, any pores, and it's going to help your foundation to really sit well on the skin and last a lot longer during the day. For foundation today, I'm using the Clinique Even Better Makeup SPF 15. It's an evening and brightening foundation, and it comes in 56 shades, which is amazing. So the shade I'm using is WN44, and it's like perfect match. So right now I'm taking a fluffy brush just to smooth that in and pat it in. I love a fluffy brush because it helps to diffuse the foundation, pat in the foundation and blend it. So that way it still looks like skin, but you're getting a good amount of coverage. And if anything, you can always add and build it up to your desired level. I also like that it's flawless, it's undetectable on the skin, and it also has brightening ingredients like vitamin C and antioxidants that's really going to help to brighten up the skin, keep it looking really nice and even and flawless, so that way your skin is looking good and your foundation's looking even better. And I have combination skin. This one works for oily skin, dry skin, combo, you name it. And if you want to try before you buy, you can always head to a Clinique counter. They can shade match you, make sure that you get your perfect shade, and then give you a 10-day sample, so at least you can try it. Now that I have my base laid down, I just really want to go in and start perfecting and being just a little bit more precise in the application of my product. So I'm taking the concealer and I'm applying it to the high points of my face because this is really going to help to add some more light back to the center of my face. To help me from going overboard with the concealer, I like to use a really small, precise, fluffy brush, and I just start gently brushing out the edges of the concealer and making sure to concentrate most of the opacity towards the inner part of my eye, and that's where most of the darkness is anyway. So just patting this out and blending out any edges so that way it looks really seamless and really flawless and undetectable on the skin. I find that using small brushes really help to keep everything in a confined space as opposed to using bigger brushes that kind of smear and move the product around too much. You can be a lot more precise and controlled using a smaller fluffy brush. And here I'm just taking a clean, fluffy brush and I'm just spot concealing the areas of my skin that have a little bit of blemishes and really need to be kind of blurred in, if you will. I'm using a concealer that's the exact shade of my foundation, and sometimes for this step I'll actually use foundation since it's a perfect match, but this is just going to help me to really go over and perfect the skin. Defining the face is extremely important to add your features back in that sometimes can be erased when your base is so flawless, right? So I'm taking a creamy contour stick because I think creams just blend so beautifully and flawlessly into the skin, and it's my favorite texture to work with. And with a fluffy brush again, I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out those edges. And like I said, fluffy brushes are my favorite for this because they really take away any hard lines and it just blurs and smooths everything in together, so it looks really natural, but of course it's flawless. And don't forget to go under the cheekbones, carve out your cheekbones, carve out your jawline, and define any areas that you think need some defining. And again, I'm just taking this smaller fluffy brush and it's really helping me to keep the contour concentrated in the area where I want it to go. It's the details that really matter sometimes. So just take your time and have patience in the process. It's a really kind of calming ritual to do your makeup, isn't it? So once the skin has settled, this part I like to call tailoring, and this is where you want to just add anything that you feel like just needs that extra oomph. So maybe this is where you add and define your freckles, your moles, and for me, this is where I like to just add that little bit more concealer because it's going to give me that pop and that really bright under eye that I like. So really just tailor the experience to you and what you need from your routine. And then lastly, to have a flawless foundation, you really need to set it all into place. I'm taking a combination of powders. I have a translucent setting powder that I love for the under eye area to really keep things nice and matte and in place all day. And then I like to take a nice glowing powder on the cheeks because I just love when the light hits and it has that little bit of sheen, that nice little glow where it's like, ooh, okay, I see you. And then here's the part where if you want to add some blush or some bronzer, some color back to your face. I love a blush. I love, this one is a Sangria shade, and blush just looks so fresh and youthful. And I love a blush also with a little bit of dimension to it, so it's not completely flat. It gives me a little bit of shine too. This part is underrated, but I love bringing my blush above my nose because it really makes it look more natural, like more sun-kissed, or it just gives some color to the center of the face, and I feel like it doesn't go unnoticed. I love it. So here I'm taking a little bit of highlighter just to add some sheen back to the skin, make it look nice and glossy and healthy. Okay, so I like the way this is looking, and it's time to really set it and lock it into place. So I'm using a setting spray. This is a step that cannot be missed. You can't skip this one. Setting spray for all. So these are my tips and tricks on getting a really healthy, fresh, natural foundation. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and a big thank you to Clinique for sponsoring this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos. I love you all, and until next time.